Hello, my name is Damián Alfaro, an aspiring architect living in San Diego, California. As of the recording of this video, I'm 23 years old and I'm going to be developing a soliloquy for each of the steps requiring to design, construct, and promote my first architectural piece, which is funded, designed, and most importantly, constructed hands on, physically, by myself. I call it El Salón. I'm going to start this piece with a scale drawing on a 11 by 9 inch piece of paper. A few weeks ago, I visited and did a survey on the existing conditions of the site. The room came up as 622 centimeters long, 415 centimeters wide, and 221 centimeters tall, which is enough information to formulate a scale on any paper size. In this case, the scale will be 1 to 25 ratio. This piece is going to be taking place in Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, which is where my upbringing and childhood took place. Which is also why I'm using the metric system in this case, as that's the system that is used in Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico. The project is going to start this summer, 2025, which gives me plenty of months, at least 5, to design and estimate the renovation. You might be wondering, how did I got the scale? The way I got the scale was by dividing the real measurements of the room by a set of numbers, choosing the number that could fit within my drawing page better, which in this case my drawing page is 11 by 9 inches, or in metric units, 31 centimeters by 23 centimeters. The scale that best fit these dimensions was the 1 to 25 ratio. That means that 1 centimeter on paper equals 25 centimeters on the drawing perspective. The 1 to 25 ratio gives me a 24.8 centimeters long by 19.6 centimeters wide drawing, which is the perfect for the dimensions of my drawing paper. I plan to redraw this not only on a bigger paper size, but also in AutoCAD and other digital tools to refine and improve the accuracy of my drawing. Right now, I'm doing everything by hand because although a computer is more precise than my hand, I enjoy the mundane aspects of drawing, the attention to detail, and the devotion required in it. The following is the result of my scale drawing, giving me the aforementioned dimensions. Now that we have the scale accurate layout to draw upon, as well as the ratio, we can begin to draw the desired layout of the renovation. What do we envisage? What do we visualize? How do we want the renovation to conclude? The good thing about this project is that it is an easy renovation, relatively speaking, of course. And the reason why I say that is because it is a single story room with four walls and not many existing structures besides a toilet, a shower, and a small 1 meter by 1 meter wall, which I expected to be demolished in the middle of the renovation. Also, I believe this makes it perfect for my first architectural project, where I can practice the fundamentals of architecture and interior design, due to its easiness of construction, design, and complexity. Although, due to that fact, I'm going to devote a lot of detail to this project. I want my first creation to be impeccable. Now comes one or perhaps the centerpiece of the project, the pool table. And perhaps it can be the single centerpiece, but I believe that not only is this the centerpiece, but also the walls, the windows, the doors. Every single aspect of this project is worth of attention, worth of detail, worth of art creation. I have read two books so far about interior architecture, and it is very interesting. I like this field. It is very interesting how both of the books emphasize the importance of function, not only in interior architecture and interior design, but also in architecture in general. They emphasize the fact that function and aesthetics go hand by hand. They mention that every architectural piece has to have not only an aesthetic appeal, but most importantly, a function that solves a particular problem. In the case of El Salon, the problem is the pool table, and the function has to revolve around the problem, the pool table. Quite literally in this case. The pool table that is going to be installed in this room is a 7-foot pool table, or in metric units, 213 centimeters long and 122 centimeters wide. That might sound feasible, but one has to keep in mind that the pool table not only requires the dimensions it is built upon, but also the required area to play with it. If you ever play pool, you will soon realize that you need a certain space available beyond the pool table dimensions to extend yourself along with the cue stick in order to improve the accuracy of your shot. That means that we need to leave at least a cue stick of space beyond the table, available for the players to play comfortably. Otherwise, the cue sticks might hit the walls or another people nearby, diminishing the function of the room and making the architecture pathetic. That being said, not only do we need an area of 213 centimeters by 122 centimeters for the pool table, but also 145 additional centimeters beyond any boundary of the table. That makes the pool table area a required 503 centimeters by 415 centimeters area, which, as you might imagine, takes most of our available space in the room, leaving not many room for additional furniture or an additional design attribute. I really like this project. The way I envisage this project, the way I visualize it, is that it's gonna be great despite being so simple. Because it is quite simple. It's not like I'm going to make a huge and complex architectural renovation to existing conditions or new construction. It is just going to be a renovation of a single story four wall room. But as I mentioned earlier, I think this makes it perfect for my first immersed instance in architecture because, as I explained before, perhaps not here in this video, but on my blog or any other communication form, I want to devote to architecture. I like architecture. I like besides the action itself, the practice of architecture, I enjoy the idea that you only need human senses to feel and appreciate the art, the surroundings, the result of your creation.